You hire a new employee, you're excited, and it's a couple of weeks in, and you're getting feedback that she doesn't fit in or he doesn't quite get it. You're not sure what they don't fit into, you're not sure what they don't get, but it's not quite working the way you had hoped it would work. And, but you're short-staffed and you can't really afford to lose this person. And so you keep going, but people start talking behind their back. They start losing trust in the person. They stop investing time in that person, and that person fails. Is that their problem or is it your problem? It is your problem. And the reason it's your problem isn't just the cost of it, which stinks. It's because you had an opportunity to clarify expectations from the beginning, and a lot of companies don't. So our cultural expectations are usually the things that we can't quite put our finger on, but they don't seem to fit. And what I really recommend is getting really clear about what your cultural expectations are. Brene Brown says clear is kind, and when I talk about accountability, clarity and clarifying expectations is the first step. You have to be clear about what you expect if you're ever going to expect them to deliver that. They cannot read minds, and they cannot read your culture, especially if they're coming up from a culture that was really different than yours. So here's what you can do. Get really clear about your core values. And not just aspirational values. By the way, your values are aspirational if you can't hold your leadership accountable to them. Get really clear about real core values, and then list the behaviors you expect under each of those core values. So for example, if teamwork is one of your core values, then you lay out expectations about how they collaborate and communicate together, that they don't talk behind each other's backs, and that they show up and deliver on time so that other people can depend on them, right? And you help lay out exactly what you expect, as well as maybe even some scenarios where they might come up against this and what you expect them to do in those scenarios. Get really clear. Not only is this helpful for onboarding, so they know what to expect going in, but also for coaching, because then when you see them do something that doesn't quite fit the culture, you can have a conversation. Hey, remember that we have these core values. Here's something that we expect, and here's something that we saw. Help me understand where you're coming from, and have a coaching conversation to help them understand what is expected moving forward. People want to succeed. They just don't want to have to fumble their way through it. So you, as a leader, need to take the responsibility to make sure they do understand what cultural fit looks like. They do understand how to be successful in the culture. And that gives you an opportunity to get them over that hump of cultural integration and start to leverage their talents, which is why you hired them in the first place, right? If you need help clarifying your cultural expectations, reach out. It's something that I do with my clients all the time.